Welcome back. All right, so 6 games tonight in the National Hockey League. Pretty busy for a Monday, but it's playoff time in the NFL, so you don't worry as much about a Monday night football game messing with your ratings. I'm gonna say rankings. All right. That aside, we're gonna look at Winnipeg and Boston first. The Bruins are playing really, really well right now. I thought this game felt like a playoff game at points. So it's Hellebuck versus Swayman and 2:19 in. Some sloppy defense by Winnipeg ends up leading to a goal here. Lauko gets this one from Frederick and Geekie. It was nice passing, but it was also some kind of iffy defense. But Winnipeg answers. At 4:16, it's DeMello from Perfetti and Ehlers. That was their first shot on the game, and it was after a turnover by Boston. So it looked like early we might get a lot of scoring in this one. Jets press at 6 minutes. Frederick Tazaka, there's a near miss there. Shots are 5-3 for Boston at the half. We get a power play for the Jets. That's killed off. The fans call one. The referee does not. The Jets press with 4 minutes left. But at 18:26, Coyle deflects a point shot into the net. Lindholm and Carlo with the assists. The Jets then press. Dylan has a shot that's held. With 5.4 seconds left, the Jets go to the power play. So that rolls over into the second period. The Bruins finish the kill. No shots for Winnipeg on that power play. We then get a power play for Boston. That's killed off as well. DeBrusk has a fast break. That chance was held. The shots are 4-0 Boston 9 minutes in. There wasn't really a whole lot for me to write on the board. That's why I put that up there. Like, it's 9 minutes in. There really hasn't been that much to talk about. Marchand has a rush chance that's saved. The Jets press halfway through the period. Bruins press with 7.5 minutes left. Van Riemsdyk has a chance that goes off the mask of Hellebuck rather than into the net. Bruins then draw a power play. That's killed off. There's a press by Boston with 5 minutes left. Things get pushy on a hold by Hellebuck. The Jets get some pressure in the last minute of the period, so it's 2-1 Boston going into the third. There's a near miss for Van Riemsdyk. Jets rush in the third period. Ehlers is denied. The Bruins then rush the other way. The Bruins press at 2.5 minutes. Schmidt has a blast that's held. The shots 4.5 minutes into the period are 5-1 for Winnipeg. Boquist has a chance that's saved. We get heavy pressure by the Jets at 8.5 minutes. The Bruins, though, they draw a power play. That then becomes 23 seconds of 4-on-4, and shortly after it becomes a Winnipeg power play. DeBrusk buries a loose puck for the shorthanded goal. Geekie with the assist at 14:35. And then the Bruins finish the kill. So the Jets had a chance to tie, and instead it's 3-1 Boston coming out of that. Lowry's then denies the Jets press after. The goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left. This is the first time this has ever happened. I wanted Boston to win. I really kind of didn't want them to get that fourth goal because I wanted the Jets to break the record for number of games where you've allowed 3 goals or less. But the empty netter's hit by Marchand. Coyle and Pasternak with the assists at 19:05 makes your final score 4-1 for Boston. They go to 29-8-9, and you know I went, and I apologize to my wife after that. 30-11-4 the record for Winnipeg. She didn't really care. But anyways, shots on net are 6-5 Winnipeg in the first, 10-4 Boston in the second, 11-6 Winnipeg in the third. Both teams had 21 shots. Not a lot of opportunities. Both teams played well defensively. Power plays, both teams go for 3. The hits, 34-27 Winnipeg. There was a lot of hits. Hellebuck saved 17 out of 20, and Swayman, after allowing a goal on the first shot, didn't allow anything on the next 20, so he saves 20 out of 21. But if that's the Stanley Cup final appearance, or preview. If that's the preview of the Stanley Cup, I think we're in for a pretty good one. All right, next up. The Vegas Golden Knights and the New Jersey Devils. So Vegas had this one and then they didn't. So it's Thompson versus Vanacek, and it's just a reminder that Vegas on the road, not the same as Vegas at home. Good early back and forth. The shots are 2-1 for Vegas at 3.5 minutes. Myers denied. The Devils press briefly. Brisson's denied on a one-timer, and then Dorofeev wires one on a rush. It's a 2-on-1. Stevenson and Stone with the assists at 6 minutes and 11 seconds. And when I was watching this game, listening for any Fire Lindy chance. I didn't hear any. So the Devils press are kept to the outside. Willman has a rush chance that's saved. We get a power play for New Jersey. Myers denied. Vegas clears. That's killed off. The Devils press after. They're kept to the outside again, but they would get to the inside and they'd score. Heischer from Meyer and Brad at 15:21. After that, Meyer then has a rush chance. That's held as now New Jersey's looking for the lead. Raw can't bury one in close as Vegas presses, but in the final minute, New Jersey scores to get the lead. It's Lazar from Howla and Bastion at 19:37. What I find funny is Ken Danico. Sergei Brylin was inducted into the Ring of Honor, and Ken Danico said about that the player currently on the team that reminds him of Brylin is Lazar, but Lazar doesn't have the offensive skill that Brylin did. Lazar's been putting up a bunch of points since he said it. He doesn't think Lazar knows he said it, but if it worked. So it's 2-1 New Jersey after one. Second period. Toffoli puts one top shelf from the slot on a rush to make it 3-1. Nemitz and Ball with the assists at 137. Vegas presses to respond. The shots are 2-1 for the Golden Knights 5 minutes in. Vegas gets some pressure 6 minutes in, so Vegas definitely pushing down by 2. Stone has a chance kick to the corner. Vegas had the momentum. They needed a goal, and they get it. It's Marchessault from Roy and Korczak at 7:39. That one was tipped in after, so I put sorry Jersey up there because, I felt like, man, if Vegas wins this, I'm going to feel bad that I wrote that on the board, and then Vegas started scoring. And sure enough, Meyer has a rebound that's held as the Devils press to answer, but then on a turnover breakaway, Marchessault scores from Barbashev and Roy at 10 minutes. So exactly halfway through the game, the score's tied at 3. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. The fans weren't happy because they believe that Howden left his feet and should have been given a 5. They called a 5 initially. They reviewed it and lowered it to 2. And then at 10:48 during the 4-on-4, Stevenson tips one in on a rush. Stone and Martinez with the assists. So Lindy Ruff called the timeout. Again, I thought, are the Chants going to start now? They didn't. But yeah, Lindy Ruff kind of let him have it. And then Cotter couldn't bury one as Vegas presses for more. And eventually they do get another one in the final minute at 19:07. It's Raw from Marchessault. And again, it's a turnover. And it's buried in close by Raw. Now, to New Jersey's credit, they would come back before the period's out at 19:44 to Foley, who started heating up again. He scores from Mercer. He wires that one from the slot for a second goal of the period. And so it's 5-4 Vegas after 2. And I'm looking at this board and I'm thinking, okay, so third period, I really can't write very much or else I'm going to run out of room. So Brad has a rush chance that's held. The shots are 5-3 Devils at 3.5 minutes. We get a power play for New Jersey. That's killed off. Shots are 9-3 for the Devils at 8.5 minutes. At 9:14, they score. It's Lazar again from Nemitz and Bastian. Bratt then had a great chance. He's denied from the slot, but we were going to overtime. So with the score tied at 5, the Devils controlled early. Myers denied. Nemitz has a shot that's held. The third shot gets it done. It's the hat trick goal to Foley from Lazar at 2:35. And so New Jersey pulls this out. They were down by 2. They come back and win it. We'll see if they can build some momentum off of this. It's a home win for New Jersey. They're 24-18-3 with the win. It is an 80s game, thus the 80s magnet, because there's 10 or more goals. Vegas 27-14-6 with the overtime loss. Shots on net 15-14 at New Jersey in the first, 11-8 Vegas in the second, 12-7 New Jersey in the third, and 3-1 for New Jersey in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots 38-33 for the New Jersey Devils. Power plays, Vegas didn't have any. New Jersey was 0 for 2. The hits 11-10 for New Jersey. Logan Thompson, rough night, 32 saves on 38 shots. Vanacek, not a lot better, but he gets the win. 28 saves on 33 shots. And again, New Jersey just below that playoff line. They have games in hand on teams they're chasing. We'll see how it turns out for them. All right, Florida and Nashville. So this one was closer than the score would show you. It's Stolarz versus Saros. A near miss for Tkachuk in the opening seconds. So Florida just came out looking for the lead right away. Teams exchange rushes. Kulikov to Mahura. There's a near miss there. There's a press by Nashville 3.5 minutes in. Lindell gets denied on a net drive. Shots are 6-2 for Florida at 5.5 minutes. Strong forechecking by the Panthers. We get a power play for Nashville. That leads to a shorthanded Reinhart chance. That was saved. Guryanov's denied as that comes to an end. And that puck was held at the net. Panthers press are kept to the outside. Things get pushy and punchy on a Saros hold. This game had some fight to it. So it's scoreless after one. Second period. Full Panthers power play to start. Reinhart has a screenshot that's saved, and that is killed off. Samoskevich is denied and close. The shots are 8-0 for Florida, 3.5 minutes into the period. No, they would not continue to shoot at that rate. Nashville would show some pushback after that, but it was quite the start, and that's where Saros was earning his money tonight. Yossi has a slot shot, that's blocked. Tkachuk has a net drive that's defended. Things get pushy on a hold by Stolarz. Fans call one, the referee doesn't. And then we get a power play for Florida, which really didn't make him happy. And what made him even more unhappy, or unhappier, Reinhart scores on that power play from Sam Bennett at 11:17, puts it over the glove in close. Florida's ahead 1-0. Florida nearly adds another the next shift, but 59 seconds after that goal by Florida, Nashville answers. Laus on from Sissons at 12:16, and I kept waiting for the goal to be given to somebody else because it deflects. It's a point shot that deflects in, but it's still, last time I looked, red Laus on. Then we had a fight between Gadjevich and Trennan. The Panthers come out of that with a power play. That lasts 29 seconds. It becomes a 4-on-4. Bit of a penalty parade. There's only 1:21 left in the period. There's a press by Nashville to close it out. So in the third period, everything gets killed off. Nothing happens with those power plays. Tkachuk has a rush chance that's saved. And then at 1 minute and 11 seconds, Verhaeghe gets one for Florida from Sam Bennett to make it 2-1. It was top corner from the slot. Reinhardt has a net drive that's blocked. We get a power play for Florida. It eventually becomes 14 seconds of 4-on-4. Nyquist gets robbed. Stolarz holds. Everything gets killed off. Shortly after that, the fans wanted another power play, and they tell the referee that he sucks because he won't give it to them. Panthers press with 9.5 minutes left. Then we get a power play for Nashville. That's killed off. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left. Nashville gets another power play. That's killed off as well. So when the referee listens, Nashville's still not scoring on the power play. The goalie pull happens with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. That leads to an empty netter. Montour from Bennett at 18:21. Yossi's then denied as they've pulled the goalie again. And then Tkachuk hits the empty net next from Verhaeghe at 19 minutes and 40 seconds. So your final score is 4-1 for Florida, but 2 of those are empty netters. Florida needed this win. They're 28-14-4 on the season. Nashville 25-21-1 with the loss. Shots on net 14-4 Florida in the first, 14-12 Florida in the second, 11-10 for Nashville in the third. Final shots 38-27 for the Florida Panthers. Power plays 1 for 4 for Florida, 0 for 5 for Nashville. Hits 28-26 Florida. Stolarz saves 26 out of 27. He was very good. So was Saros, 34 saves on 36 shots. So nice night for the goaltenders. All right, last one on this board, Pittsburgh and Arizona. So wearing Coyotes. I wore Pittsburgh for the preview, as we'll wear Coyotes for the review. Jari versus Ingram in this one. Keller takes a puck to the nose. That looked like it sucked, but he would come back. And then on their first shot, Arizona scores. It is Zucker from Cooley and Brown at 2:23. Jason Zucker played for the Penguins too, and you could tell tonight he wanted that win over his former team. Penguins press for an answer. The shots are 2-1 Pittsburgh, 6.5 minutes in. There's a press by the Pens at 9 minutes. Cooley has a rush chance. That's held. We get a power play for the Penguins. There was a shorthanded Kesselring backhander that was held. That was a dangerous shot. And that ends up killing off the power play in part. Zucker's then denied on a fast break. It's 1-0 Arizona after 1. Second period. Early press by the Penguins. Michelli fires one high. It's cleared out. And then the puck just kind of eludes Ingram and goes in. It's Eller from Joseph at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. And seriously, it was a bizarre goal, but it counts. They all count. Power play then for Arizona. That's killed off. The shots are 4-3 for the Penguins at 8 minutes. Zucker has a rush chance. That's defended. And then Valimaki would score to put Arizona ahead again. Keller and Michelli with the assists at 11:04, and it was a top shelf goal from in close. Valimaki's been a healthy scratch lately, so he really celebrated that goal. I think he's earned the right to be in the lineup the next game as well. We get a power play for the Coyotes. Then it becomes 1 minute and 5 seconds of 4-on-4. After that's all done, at 16:30, Crosby from an impossible angle. He scores to tie the game up. Carlson and Malkin with the assists. The Coyotes press to respond, and eventually they get it at 18:01. Kerfoot. Zucker with some great forechecking, gets the puck, gets it out to Kerfoot, and Kerfoot buries it in front of the net. So again, that forechecking so important in today's NHL. And your score's 3-2 for Arizona after 2. Third period. Gensel can't bury one in close. This is when they announced that Matt Dumba would not be returning to action. He got a lower body or upper body injury earlier in the game. Shots are 4-1 Penguins at 2 minutes. Cooley's denied in close. Coyotes end up with a power play. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 that leads to a 4-on-4, or it would have. Chris Letang in his own zone. You've got the goalie pulled. You've got the extra man. You're like, all right, the longer we rag this puck, the longer our power play, the shorter that 4-on-4. And he passes it to Malkin. Malkin, it goes off of his stick and into their own net. So that's the first time that's happened in a while in the National Hockey League. The look of embarrassment on Letang's face was real, and rightfully so. That's not supposed to happen. So Krause scores on the power play at 4 minutes and 10 seconds because technically Arizona's on the power play because the whistle hasn't gone yet. And it's the most bizarre power play goal I can think of. And I don't know if, like, I know that guys have scored on their own net when there's a delayed call. I don't know if I've ever seen it where it was going to be a 4-on-4. Next time, just give the puck up. I always get nervous when guys, and in the next game I'm going to review on the second board, there was almost that incident as well. So just don't be shy about giving the other team the puck. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so that counts, and it really was a tough one because now it's 4-2. It stays 4-on-4 because they put it in their own net, and then everything gets killed off. So it threw off the whole game for Pittsburgh, and then on a net drive, Bjugstad scores to make it 5-2. O'Brien and McBain with the assists at 7:04. So yeah, rough night. Rough night for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Bjugstad has a 2-on-1 chance that's held. Eller gets denied on a one-timer. Gunther had a fast break. That was saved, but your final score is 5-2. Four of those goals Arizona scored. 23-19-3 record with the win. Pittsburgh 21-17-6 with the loss. Shots on net, 10-9 Arizona in the first, 9-8 for Pittsburgh in both the second and the third. Final shots 27-26 for Pittsburgh. Arizona 0-3. Pittsburgh 0-3. Arizona technically 1-3. It was mentioned by Nash, though, Tyson Nash, that it's broken my brain that they went 1-3 and they never had a shot on net on any of their power plays. So there's a lot of firsts. I feel like these are NHL firsts that we witnessed tonight. But yeah, so the hits 21-19 for Pittsburgh. Jarry saved 22 out of 26 because that own goal, that's an own goal. He wasn't in the net. He was on the bench waiting for the power play. Ingram, 25 saves on 27 shots. So, yeah, that's a bizarre goal. That's going to be on highlight reels for years. That being said, I need to change boards. All right, Chicago and Vancouver. And this game looked like it was going to be really exciting, and then it wasn't. It's Mrazek versus Demko. Joshua gets denied on an early rush, but then at 1:47 on a great pass from Kuzmenko, Suter makes it 1-0. Juleson with the assist there, so it's 1-0 Vancouver very early. Canucks press for another. Kurashev then had a one-timer that was held, but at 6 minutes and 40 seconds, bar down, Quinn Hughes. He scores from Mikheyev and Kuzmenko, so Kuzmenko with a couple of helpers. We're not even 7 minutes in. It's 2-0 for the Canucks. Looks like this could be a laugher. The Hawks press at 9 minutes. We get a power play for Chicago. That's killed off. Then the Canucks get a power play. That's killed off as well. Pressed by the Canucks with 3.5 minutes left. The Hawks get pinned down a bit late, but it's 2-0 Vancouver after one. Second period, Radish nearly scores early. The teams exchange rushes. The Canucks press are kept to the outside. Hawks press at 3.5 minutes. The shots are actually 4-2 for Chicago, 4.5 minutes in. Canucks press, again, they're kept to the outside. The Hawks draw a power play. That becomes 4-on-4. Everything's killed off there. Reese Johnson was denied in close twice on the same play. There's a delay game call, gives the Hawks a power play. That becomes 25 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything's killed off there. Then with 1:26 left, the Canucks have too many men on the ice. So that rolls over into the third period, where the Canucks finish the kill yet again. Lafferty's denied in close. The shots are 3-2 for the Canucks at 4 minutes. We get a blocker save on Foligno. Strong forechecking by Chicago. In fact, the Hawks press at 7.5 minutes. Miller goes the other way as a one-timer. That's held. Pettersson's denied on a net drive. Suter misses one wide. It's cleared out. Blackwell with a near miss on a fast break. I thought that was going to be a goal. Magna has a shot that's held as the Hawks press. With 5:59 left, the Hawks with their fifth power play. That was killed off 5 shots. So Demko making his Vezina case. Once they got that 2-0 lead, it just felt like Chicago was the better team for long stretches there. So Canucks press with 2.5 minutes left. They delay the goalie pull until there's 1:35 left, and Chicago's not able to generate the chance needed to break the goose egg. So there's the Tony the Tiger Magnet. The Canucks were out of first place in the league when Boston won earlier tonight, and when Vancouver won, they got first place back. They're 32-11-4 in the season. Chicago 14-31-2. Yeah, it's weird having Vancouver and Boston numbers 1 and 2 in the league. I'm pretty sure that's never happened. Shots on net, 12-9 Vancouver in the first, 10-7 Chicago in the second, 12-10 Chicago in the third. Final shots 31-29 for Chicago. Power plays, the Hawks 0-5, Vancouver 0-3. The hits, 27-26 Vancouver. Mrazek saved 27 out of 29. He was very good. Demko saves all 31 for his 5th shutout this season and his 8th overall. Demko, 5 shutouts already. Could he hit 10 this year? Could we see a goaltender hit 10? I think it's Connor Ingram's the other one with 5, so outside chance of it, but it could happen. All right, so 7:30 start, meaning shootout. It's the first time this has actually happened in a while. So it's Kakinen versus Riddick, and the LA Kings wearing their Cylon gear because they were wearing those nice third jerseys with those silver helmets. Sharks have a 3-on-2 that's broken up. Laferriere fires one wide on a 2-on-1. 3 minutes in, the shots are 3-1 for the Kings. And the only question I really had was, I wonder how much the Kings are going to win this by, because they need to start getting some wins. The teams beneath them in the standings are going to catch them if they don't start getting some wins. Kempe has a chance to deflects out. The Sharks press at 5.5 minutes. We get momentum for San Jose because they're working hard. It felt like there were portions of this game where San Jose was just outworking the Los Angeles Kings. Fiala has a near miss on a net drive. Ochocek has a blast that's held. The Sharks are forcing turnovers at this point too. Kempe has a shot that's blocked and cleared. We get a power play for the Kings. There's a post for Kempe. It's killed off, and then the Kings press with 1.5 minutes left. And honestly, towards the end of that period, it was all Kings. There's a post for Fiala, and it looked like they got over whatever blah they had going on earlier in the period. They end up doubling San Jose in shots in that period, or tripling San Jose in shots. So second period, the Sharks press at 1.5 minutes. Brant Clark has a shot that's held as the Kings press. Kings press again at 6.5 minutes, but the Sharks draw a power play, or they would have, except they score during the delayed call and not on their own net. It's Zetterlund from Hoffman and Hurdle at 7:46. There was actually a moment here where Canucks were skating around in front of their own net, and I felt like, okay, don't put it in your own net, and it was right near the crease. So that's why I mentioned in the previous part about that there's another game where that almost happened. And again, Zetterlund scores during the delayed call. Hoffman and Hurdle with the assists at 7:46. So nice cycle while they know they have the delayed penalty. And they bury it. Kings look for a response, but at 9:06, San Jose scores again. It's Eklund from Sturm burying it on a rush. Those turnover rushes, San Jose deadly on them tonight. Sharks then look to add another. Moore has a shot that's kicked aside. It's cleared out. We get a power play for the Sharks. That's killed off. That would be their only power play of the night. Clark's denied. The next chance held. Brant Clark wants that first goal. Moore would score to get LA on the board from Fiala at 17:06. It's top far corner from in close. Kings draw a power play. They were a post away from the tie during that delayed call. 1:40 left. The power play starts for the Kings. That rolls over into the third period. Sharks finish the kill. Kempe has a rush chance. That's held. And then at 1:33, Byfield with a one-timer from the slot. He scores. Kempe and Spence with the assists. Kings then look for the lead. It's all Kings at this point. Kempe with a near miss as the Kings press. But on a turnover and on a breakaway, Justin Bailey scores. That one from Ryan Carpenter at 6:17. Dano then fires one high as the Kings are pressing because they got to get this back, right? Kings press again with 5.5 minutes left. The Sharks blocking, but then there's a delay game call, gives the Kings the power play, and that allows them to tie it. It's Doughty with a blast from the point. Fiala and Byfield with the assists at 18:02. We're going to overtime. In the overtime, the Kings controlled early. Things are pushy after Kakinen denies Fiala. Hurdles denied on a 2-on-1. It was a good overtime, but we're going to a shootout. In the shootout, Logan Couture and Fabian Zetterlund score. San Jose wins in the shootout 4-3. They go to 12-31-4 with the win. The Kings 22-13-9, and this one has to hurt because you need 2 points against San Jose. Shots on net 18-6 LA in the first, 12-10 San Jose in the second, 13-10 LA in the third, and they outshot them 5-2 in the overtime. Final shots 46-30 for LA. Power plays, San Jose 0 for 1, LA 1 for 3. The hits 24-14 San Jose. Kakinen saves 43 out of 46. He was excellent, and Riddick saved 27 out of 30. He wasn't bad. Riddick played well, but again, for the Kings, I think they're gonna be really kicking themselves they didn't get 2 points tonight. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you haven't seen Letang putting the puck towards Malkin and Malkin not able to grab it and it goes in their own net, it's worthy of looking up because, again, it doesn't happen that often in hockey, and when it does, it's definitely noteworthy. But let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.